It's time for the main event here on SmeeSports YouTube, the event that gave us our start, the 2024 Explosive Fastpitch Firework Frenzy Tournament. It's day number 2, and somehow, in some way, we have softball. After all the rain we saw earlier this morning, we are able to play some softball. The dirt field's just barely held up. You can kind of see on the center of your screen, we have a nice little line of dirt, but we'll work with it. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this afternoon as Explosive Fastpitch takes on the Grand Island Vikings. Bunt goes to the right side of the infield. The throw is not in time to one. It's an infield bunt single, and the runner's going to take over to second base, and she gets there with hustle. Will try to leg out to third base, and she does. Will they send her? Yes, they will, for an inside the park bunt. Yes, it is. That is one explosive way to get the game underway. An inside the park bunt home run. I have no clue how you score that even. It's an infield single, error leading to a run. But nonetheless, Explosive, who unfortunately did not send in the lineup, has a lead early on. Another bunt, this time down the right side, and the runner also is safe. So 2 on with infield singles. Explosive, after starting off with a loss yesterday, this is the exact start that they needed to get against Grand Island, who's also 0-1 entering play today. On the mound, they have Mackenzie Comfort, and nothing she could do about either of those balls, just perfectly placed down the respective lines, the left side the first time and the right side the second. Bunt pulled back, runner goes, throw down to 2 is not in time, so it is a stolen bag on the attempt. So a runner in scoring position now for Explosive. We do have a lineup. I believe that is Carly Kretschmeyer, who is standing on second base for Explosive. The pitch, ground ball chop left side over to short. Fake throw to 3, throw to 1 is not in time. So it's an infield single on the hesitated fielder's choice. It's runners at the corners with none away. 3 infield hits so far for Explosive. So when you talk about small ball softball, this is exactly what you expect to see. And at this age level, this being a 10U game, this is exactly what you expect to see. Scrappy softball that teaches these young players how to run the bases and how to make something happen. Just like on this scenario, runners at the corners, you send the runner down to 2, it's a free stolen bag. I believe that is Lena Cards, who now stands at second base. So Kretschmeyer at third and Cards over at second. So how does Grand Island respond? One error could lead to 2 more runs. The pitch. Smack to the right side, and will go out of play, foul over towards the Grand Island dugout. Not the age group I'm accustomed to calling games for, usually the high school and the collegiate level, but have called some 10U and 12U based on last year's tournament. Expect to see a lot of ground balls in this game, and that's nothing against the players. They're still learning the game. They're starting to improve. This Explosive team basically unchanged from last year. They're 1 year better and 1 year improved, and even in the game that we covered for them last year, which was a big win over on Field 10, they still look really good the way they're hitting the ball. It's not hard contact, but if you ask Luis Ariz of the San Diego Padres, any contact that gets you on base is a base hit. Doesn't matter if it's hit 450 or 50 feet. Ground ball left side of the infield, throw across diamond. Is it in time? No, runner is safe as the first baseman came off the bag. A run will score. That makes it now a 2-0 game in favor of Explosive. Another infield hit. Talk about a fiery start. Runner still at the corner, so expect to see the runner take 2. She goes. There is no contest over at second base. So once again, we have 2 runners in scoring position, and standing on second base is Kaylin Flannery for Explosive. Comfort looking for out number 1 for Grand Island. The pitch hit to the right side and foul. Got a little underneath the ball, just a little dribbler, but nonetheless, good contact. Straighten that one out. We're still looking to see a ball hit in the outfield, and Explosive has plenty of power. We've seen that. They definitely have a lot more power than they did last year. They're making steps in the right direction as next year they make the jump up to 12U. Chopped right up the gut. Throw on over to first base is not in time. It's more hustle for Explosive, which gives them a 3-0 lead on the RBI single.
Now batting, number 13, Schaefer.
So I believe it is Schaefer now up to bat. Reese Schaefer, number 13, will await and try and move the runner along. Once again, runs at the corners, swing and a miss, one in the dirt, but the runner will take second base. So once again, 2 in scoring position. I believe that now is Piper Lawrence standing over at second base. The pitch from Comfort popped up between second and short and just over the shortstop's head. Actually, that's the center fielder who came in for it. 1 run will score, which makes it now a 4-0 game. So now Maria Capriolo steps into the box for her first cuts. It's been a good run of things so far for Explosive. Once again, runners at the corners, still none away. It's a 4-0 ball game. The center fielder playing really shallow. Actually, the whole outfield is on the dirt. Runner goes, no contest. And that's actually pretty smart from Grand Island. It's not necessarily the quote-unquote shift, but you're sending your center field, your left fielder, and right fielder in to be a second line of defense in the infield. That could potentially lead to an out over at second base later on. Chopped foul to the left side this time around. And this is all just a learning experience. These tournaments, in the grand scheme of these leagues, does not matter. This is more getting some good competition in and playing some good softball and learning from it. Even if you go 0-3 in this tournament, you still get some valuable learning experience. We saw it last year. A couple teams struggled, and now this year they have started off with some good wins. It's just the draw you're given. You can be given the best 3 teams in the field go 0-3, or be given the worst 3 go 3-0, not be tested. It just depends. It's the random luck of the draw. But as of right now, we're just glad to have softball given how the morning started. Line to the right side, it falls. It's in for a base hit. This could be an inside the Parker depending on how the relay goes. Turning and going for 3 is Capriolo. She will go. Will they send her? No, they will not. It is an RBI triple for Maria Capriolo, scoring 2 runs to give Explosive a 6-0 lead before Grand Island can have a word on defense. But that was a beautiful hit. The outfield going to back up a little bit now for Grand Isle. It's taking the ball to opposite field. That's all it is. She found the gap. She found the hole in the defense, got a good barrel on it, and sent it. And that's all she had to do. Just barrel up the ball, and it resulted in 2 more runs, plus another runner standing 60 feet away. The pitch from Comfort, smacked down that same right field line. Maybe just going foul. It was definitely close on that line. They're going to say foul. But that would have been a nice RBI single, as it just would have skimmed the bag. As a baseball player, I've seen that happen many times in favor of my team, where it just skims the bag and stays fair, but at the same time, the opposite way. High pitch, nice job behind the dish nonetheless from Burt to go up and get it. You have to give some respect and some love to the catchers in these games. In these long innings, they're back there, their knees, it's not going to feel good in 10, 15 years. As a catcher, I can tell you that right now. My knees aren't feeling too good most of the time for catching long innings. But Bird has done a nice job behind the dish. Kept pretty much everything in front of her. The only things that have gone past have been foul balls. She's kept the runners in check, did not throw the ball around the infield, let the runner take second base, played situational softball. She's doing a good job. So is her pitcher. This is just a learning experience, as Explosive had just found the small gaps in the defense. Nice off speed, the pass ball, the drop third, so that's the first K. Now the ball's going around the infield. 1 run will technically score, make it now a 7-0 ball game. But on the drop third, that would have been K number 1. It still is on the swing, but the runner takes first. I believe that is Maeve Schmidt over at first base. So I believe it will be the 10th hitter of the inning, still none away. Skied, is it over the center fielder's head? Yes, it is. It's a base hit, it just drops in. Going over to third base is Schmidt. The runner is safe at second base. It is a no-out double for Explosive, putting 2 more Ducks in scoring position. now we're almost batted all the way around. It's Anastasia Lutz, who also had a nice contest last time we saw her play in the morning slot on the Saturday of the tournament last year. What can she do this time around? It hits off the pitcher's mound. It's an RBI single for Lutz. Make it now a 8-0 ball game. So now Lena Bundalo steps in, I believe, for her first cuts. Don't think we batted around quite yet. Still have not seen the defensive explosive. It's an 8-0 ball game with none away. The pitch from Comfort. Believe they're going to call it a strike. Hard to see from out here in the outfield. Just the best vantage point we can get. Being back there, it's an interesting view. It's just with the fence being as narrow as it is, it's hard to get the phone camera in there. I'd rather be in the outfield and have this vantage point. Low ball, nice block behind the dish from Burt to keep it in front. Exactly what you need to do. It's reactionary. Throw the glove at it, keep it in front of you, and live to fight another day. If that's passed, you have 2 in scoring position, and it could be a larger lead for explosive on one swing of the bat. It makes it harder now that there's still only 1 on second. Just skips past her this time. An awkward bounce on the wet dirt puts 2 in scoring position. So now the coaches are giving some instructions for the base runners to try and move them along. 8-0 as of right now, and time called over on the mound. We are still hoping to have the rain hold off in this game. Skies aren't looking so good. My umbrella is destroyed. So for all intents and purposes, hopefully it does not rain. Swing and a miss, a nice get-right pitch there from Comfort as she makes up for the 2 in the dirt. Now she just needs to find a rhythm here. Get a strike, which you have, get another one, compound the strikes, get out of the inning, and learn from it. See what you did wrong and adjust. And there it is. Almost a back pick attempt down to 3, but that's 2 strikes in a row now from Comfort as she's starting to finally get her groove. That's big for Grand Island. Even if they don't, or Grand Island, correction, if they don't win this game, to have good effort still, even though the game might be out of hand early, that's what you need. It goes off to the side, and it will be a walk that loads the bases. So now Madeline Howard steps in for her first cut, I believe. Either her first or second. Don't know if we bet her. I believe she was the leadoff hitter, correction. So we're back to the top of the lineup. She had a base hit her first time up. Still none away. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Nice block behind the dish from Burt. 0-1 count. And Madeline Howard, daughter of the owner of Explosive, Jeanette Howard, former Holy Name softball coach. That's kind of how I got where I am as a Holy Name guy myself. Runner will take home. The play at the plate is not in time. Everyone's safe all the way around. 2 in scoring position. Now a 9-0 lead for Explosive with none away. I don't think you could have had a more perfect start for Explosive in this game. The pitch. Ground ball to the left side. That's through for an RBI single. 1 run will score. They're going to send another. Howard will stay put at second base. It's a 2 RBI double for Madeline Howard to now give Explosive an 11-0 lead. Once again, just changing to the opposite side. Got a little more barrel on it, pulled it to left field, got through the infield. Perfect hit. And now runner stands at second base in Howard. The pitch goes outside. As now we're back to Carly Kretschmeyer, who had a base hit and a stolen bag her first time up this inning. Just tuning in, 11-0 is your score. Yes, that is correct. You are not reading it wrong. It is not a typo. It is an 11-0 ball game with none away in the top of the first. Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen, we're not messing with the count on the scoreboard and the runners. Too much to deal with in the game with one person on staff. It's easier to work with this. Couldn't crop it out like we do for the other broadcast with the WRCL, so that's what we have. Bear with me. The pitch from Comfort in the dirt. Burt blocks it once again. And as well, after this, we have 3 more games, assuming the weather holds up we have explosive fast pitch Kelowna over at 1:30 on the turf, and then 4:30 and 6 explosive fast pitch Shibin has a double header to close out their pool play. They need a couple more wins in there if they want to top the group. It's a tough group. So walk there on that at bat from Kretschmeyer, which now brings us back to Lena Cards. That Shibin team should be fun to watch. They had a good come-from-behind victory yesterday. I believe 3 homers in that game, including rising junior Holy Name Aubrey Stevens. That should be a good game. See how she can back up an impressive sophomore season, as she's had some good times with Holy Name these last couple of years as they made it to regionals in 23 and this past year. Did well in the GLC, but unfortunately couldn't get it done in the playoffs against a very, very good Akron Springfield team. The pitch from Comfort. Popped up and will drop foul to the right side. 0-1 count. Cards, her first time up, had a base hit and a stolen bag. And as well, we welcome all of you watching from Grand Island, New York, I believe is near Buffalo. Glad you were able to tune in and watch this game. Unfortunately, the score not in your favor, but still glad you're able to go and support whoever it is that you know. Ground ball hit to the right side, bobble at 2. The play at 1 is not in time as the first baseman came off the bag. Another run will score, make it 12-0. So now 12-0 before an out. I don't know what run rule is in this competition. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's 12 after 3. So technically, it would be in effect in 2 innings. So now time is cold, and the head coach for Grand Island will go and talk to his pitcher and his whole infield. We'll talk about him for a second. He was very helpful getting a roster and just helping me with the last names, as at this age group, it's mainly just the first names they put on the scorecard. I can kind of show the scorecard right here on the screen real quick during this stoppage. As you can see, it is first names. I had to pencil in the last names. He was more than willing to help me get those last names on there. So big shout out to him. Thank you for helping me out. It just makes my job a lot easier knowing first and last names, and it makes me able to call a better game for you, the viewers at home. To stay up to date on all the games I'm covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and Twitter. To stay up to date on the action in the explosive fast pitch tournament, follow their socials on Instagram, and as well check the website for updates. And finally, subscribe here to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when I go live. My goal is to get up to 250 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. We had a lot of subscribers because of this tournament last year, hoping the same will happen this year. Maybe get up to 100 subscribers by the end of it. Should have a couple more broadcasts tomorrow and the 3 that are still left after this one today. It's an exciting day. Looking forward to seeing what it all has in store for us. The pitch from Comfort. Runner goes early, so she will be out. And here it is, as that's out number 1. This is just to kind of flip things over. Runners will be sent early. Would not be surprised to see the runner over at third base, which I believe is Kretschmeyer, leave early as well. The pitch. Ground ball hit to the right side of the infield. It's an RBI infield single once again for Explosive. This time around, it's Kaylin Flannery doing the business, as she is 2 for 2. So once again, would not be surprised to see her leave early, as the rule is if you leave early from your bag, you are out. That is how it works in softball. Different from baseball, but still, I think it's a fair rule given it's a smaller field. Runner leaves early, so that is now 2 outs on Explosive. Just tuning in, we are still in the top of the first. It is a big lead for Explosive, who leads at 13-0. Pitch inside, 1-0 count to begin this at-bat. But talk about a bounce-back game for Explosive Fast Pitch. Lost their first game in the tournament. They needed to come out and show something, and show something they did. Showed plenty of fight, plenty of good contact, like that one hit to the right side out of play. But a couple nice balls in the infield. The game started off perfectly. 2 perfectly executed bunts. An actual inside-the-park home run bunt. That might be the most impressive thing that I've seen on a softball diamond in a long time. And I've seen some no-hitters, some home runs, you name it. But an inside-the-park bunt home run that didn't even look like it got too far. just shows the hustle Explosive has in the promotional video last year. I believe hard work is one of the things I had show up at the end of the video as one of the things that says we are. And it's proven in this game today. There's a lot of things Explosive is, and hustle is ingrained in there. No surprise knowing Coach Howard. No surprise knowing a lot of the other coaches within the program. The pitch from Comfort. Fouled behind, just maybe touches the bat and hits the backstop. Once again, after this, we have a 1:30, 4:30, and 6 o'clock broadcast. 1:30, we're over on the turf as Fastpitch Kelowna has a contest. I believe it is against Savage Elite in that game. Then 4:30 and 6 over on field 6 against Phoenix Flames and the Lou Gehrig Lasers. Ground ball hit to the shortstop. Throw across the diamond is in time. Nice job over at short from Grand Island to get out of the inning. We head into the home half of the first. It's a big lead for Explosive, who leads it 13-0. Bottom one here at Victory Park in North Ridgeville. It's been an exciting top of the first for Explosive, who leads at 13-0. Yes, 13-0 over the Grand Island Vikings. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning. If you are just tuning in, first pitch of the afternoon thrown by Caprillo is a strike, 0-1 count to begin this at bat on Jocelyn Madu, the left fielder. The pitch misses outside, a 1-1 count. Caprillo already has a good day, regardless of how she does on the mound. A 2 RBI triple in the top of the first. It was an excellently hit ball. Good hustle shown from her. Let's see how she does on the mound. The 1-1 cut on through, now a 1-2 count. After Mondo, it's Sikerski and then Bull. The three do up this inning for Grand Island. The 1-2 Ground ball hit to the left side of the infield. Throw across the diamond is in time. It's 1 up, 1 down for the explosive fast pitch defense. Once again, it is textbook softball. See it into the glove, off the ground, and make the play. Excellent job over at short. Trying to see who that is. I believe that is Nathan Howard over at short. Nonetheless, an excellent throw across the diamond. It gets the job done. And now Addie Sikorsky, the center fielder, steps in for her first cuts of this afternoon's ball game. The pitch from Caprillo. Swing and a miss, gets her to chase outside. And variability of pitches is, I feel, most important at this age. You're having a lot of less disciplined hitters, and that's just going to come as they play the sport more. The more you're in the game, the more you're in the box, the more you see live batting and pitching, the more attuned to the strike zone you're going to be. You're going to be a lot more impatient the younger you are and the less time you've played. So now is where you take advantage of it. Chopped right up the middle. Nice snag by Caprillo over on the bump to throw to 1. It's 2 up, 2 down. The ball had plenty of zip to it as well. Excellent composure shown. And there's no surprise explosive defense is playing as well as they have with the grounders. They were here when I got here at 9:40, already in the outfield, doing some hitting, doing some fielding, doing everything they needed to do to get ready for the game, and they were locked in. They know what happened last year. I don't believe any explosive team won their respective tournament brackets. This Howard team feels like they're the team to do it this year and help explosive win their tournament. They have a couple other teams that they feel can also go the distance, including 2 of the ones we'll see later in Kalana and Scheiben, who I feel Scheiben, if they're able to beat Lou Gehrig Glazers, is a big, big favorite in the 16U division, as that Lou Gehrig team, I believe, is one of the better teams in this bracket. Caprillo still dealing on the bump, looking to retire the side in order. The pitch misses upstairs, doesn't get her to chase. Bull along with Emmy Dewey are the 2 additional hitters today for Grand Island. We'll see Dewey later on in the ball game. Chopped right back up to Caprillo and just sneaks past her for an infield single. Almost made the play, however, as Howard came up and crashed for it. It just snuck past Caprillo. Howard charged it and just launched a laser across the infield and almost made the play. That had been an impressive way to retire the side, but nonetheless, 1 on with 2 away for Grand Island after the hustle paid off as Chelsea Sebin, the first baseman, steps up for her first cuts. Sebin just needs a simple little poke. It's all you need right now to keep the game going the way you want it to. And that play from the catcher, you're not going to see it in any box score, you're not going to see it in any recap, but it's still a great play. Blocks the ball, runner a little bit off the bag, looks her back and makes sure she goes back. That's exactly what the catcher needs to do. Well done. Both catchers today have really impressed me. As a catcher, I'm more going to gravitate towards complimenting the catcher play, but they're doing everything they need to do out of the play right. Exactly, once again there, she's making sure she doesn't try to get any lead over at first. Explosive still looking to get out of the inning. The pitch from Caprillo. Swing upstairs. Nice job varying up the spot. Went low on the last one, brought it up, and the swing was a little bit under it. Based off that, would not be surprised to see a high heater. And we do have a high heater. It gets her to chase as Caprillo retires the side. End of 1 in Ridgeville. It's a 13-0 lead for Explosive over Grand Island. Top two here in North Ridgeville. Explosive enjoying the beginning of day 2 of the tournament up 13-0. First pitch of the inning is hit and an out recorded by the defense of Grand Island. Nice job from them, showing the composure they need to do to retire the batter Schaefer for out number 1. And now Capriolo steps in here. The pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Still trying to figure out rosters here for Explosive. May not have been Capriola. It might be a bullpen game, as I believe Madeline Howard is warming up over there. It's either her or trying to find who it would be. Either her or Flannery. That's one of those two warming up in the bullpen. The pitch. Well high over the catcher's head. If you're just tuning in, a rough first inning for Grand Island, but excellent hitting all the way around from Explosive. They hit well, they bunted well, they ran the bases well. They did everything you can ask a softball team to do, no matter the age group. This is a 10U team, but they're showing the wisdom of the sport that you would see from some of the older teams that you see in this tournament, and that's really impressive. That also is a benefit of these players playing with each other for the last couple of years. Last year, maybe a newer team in Explosive. This year, they brought back the same core, and they're finally starting to hit their stride. It takes a couple of years to build the chemistry, and when you have a carousel of players like you do in a rec league, it's hard to build that kind of chemistry. But once you have players who've played together for a long period of time, you're building a winning culture. That is why Explosive B2 is another great example of it, are good softball organizations. Walk there recorded by Capriolo, so she will take first. The pitch. Ground ball hit to the right side of the infield. Simple step on first for out number 2. Nice job by Sebin to see it into the glove. So now Explosive a 2-way, still has a runner in scoring position, so still can do some more damage, but they don't necessarily need to. Swing and a miss, a hefty cut. The catcher is going to walk the runner back. Capriolo will stand now over at second base. But once again, a nice move behind the dish. That is exactly what Kenzie Burt needs to do. Walk the runner back. There are some teams who like to get the leads and just kind of wait in that no man's land. Explosive is one of those teams. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. A lot of those teams that I have faced, I'm thinking Pit Bulls and Impact mainly, are teams that are like that. They like to do the small ball approach and make something happen out of nothing, and that's how some of the best teams are built. Runner now advances on a passed ball. As well, speaking of those two teams, depending on how Summer League ends up for me, we could have a Final Four with one of those two teams in it in the OPL. Should be exciting to see how that finishes. The WRCL definitely will be having some games to cover soon. Release versus Stark County on Tuesday over on the WRCL YouTube channel. Looking forward to seeing the top dog in the league, and I believe they're 11-1 at the time of the stream starting. It's a pass ball. The play at the plate will be made. No. Excellent job bringing the down angle over at third base by Capriolo, and now she makes it a 14-0 ball game. Reading down angle is something that almost every coach, no matter the level, will preach. Not necessarily down angle on that one, but still, it's a pass ball. You need to be able to read that. You need to read the high and the low angle at the same time, and she did just that. I believe this is the last game of the day for Grand Island, as their first game got postponed due to the rain that was monsooning. Hit to right field and almost caught. Just slips off the right fielder's glove, but that will go down as an E9, and the runner is on with 2 away. And now for Explosive, it goes to Anastasia Lutz. Lutz, I believe, had a base hit her first time up. The pitch. In the zone, runner goes, throw wide to the right, left of our angle. The runner is safe. It's difficult to kind of call games from both angles, from the outfield and the infield. It's left side of the infield, but for the camera, it's the right side. Ball just blocked by the catcher. The throw down to 3 is not in time. That's just a nice steal there from Explosive of reading the down angle. But nonetheless, another good block behind the dish from Burt. We are now almost a half hour into the ball game. Pitch fouled behind. Good contact, just needs to straighten it out a little bit. We are still hoping that the bad inclement weather will hold off for the rest of the afternoon. Bad storm still expected to run through Northeast Ohio, but right now it's at the east side. Popped up in the infield and off the pitcher's glove. Comfort couldn't bring it down, and that will score a runner from third base to make it now a 15-0 ball game. And now Biondolo steps up for her second cuts of the game. She walked her first time up, the only walk of the game. The windup and the pitch. Hit to the right side, foul. And I believe just seeing it now, it is a pitching change for Grand Island as Bull is on the mound. So that means Mackenzie Comfort will be the additional hitter. The pitch. Skips to the left side, runner goes and is well safe at second base. So now, runner in scoring position with 2 away, still Explosive can do some more damage, already up 15-0. The defense will be tasked with holding down the fort for 6 more outs, I believe. The pitch from Bull. Hit to the right side and sneaks foul. A close one down that right field line. The second one we've seen like that of the ball game. Both of them would have done plenty of damage. That one would definitely have been at least a double. Could have been a triple depending on where it ended up stopping. From what I could see of the infield, the ball would be stopping more. So if this was a drier field, that ball is definitely going to go farther. Strike theory there on the swing as Bull gets out of the inning. But we go to the home half of the second with Explosive dominating up 15-0. Back on at Victory Park, Field 3 for the bottom of the second of this 2024 Explosive Fastpitch Firework Frenzy contest between Explosive Fastpitch Howard and the Grand Island Vikings. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you this morning. If you are just tuning in, AccuWeather has given some not so good news. According to the weather report, heavy rain and thunderstorm to start in the area in around 23 minutes. So can we complete this game? It just depends really on how the defenses play. First pitch of the inning is low, 1-0 count. as I believe Madeline Howard now on the bump for Explosive. We saw her pitch the full game last year as we covered their one game to start the afternoon on day 2. Second pitch also missing low. This was always going to be a bullpen game for Explosive as they had 3 different pitchers warming up before the game. The reason we didn't have a lineup card was the lineup wasn't set until game time, as it was a last-minute decision on who would start, as it would be whoever's arm looked the best in warm-ups. In that case, it was Caprillo, and now Howard gets a chance. That's a get-right pitch. Makes it now a 2-1 count as she finds the zone and gets the batter to chase. Kramer, Comfort, and Dewey do up this inning for Grand Island. Once again, as well, we welcome in all the viewers watching from Grand Island, as that's a little bit of a hike, but still, if you made the trip out here, fair play to you. Ground ball hit to the left side of the infield is short. It's gonna be a tough play. The throw across is not in time. The runner just beat out the throw. A nice job from Kramer to do so. That's an infield single that could potentially spark something for Grand Island. That's what they need, simple hits. You don't need it all back in one hit. I feel like for Grand Island, the goal right now is to not get the run rule in effect. I believe it is 12 runs after 3. I could be mistaken, but with the weather, I feel like that could be even more so the case. I feel like if it's 15-0 after 3, you're going to call the game. If it rains, it's not going to be redone. Swing and a miss, the catcher still doing her job behind the dish. Once again, do not have, unfortunately, the starters for Explosive, only have a roster. But still, the catcher's done a nice job. A couple nice blocks, had to block a couple of Howard's first pitches. That one just goes by, or a wild pitch, and that will give second base to Kramer. Explosive just needs to settle things down here. They're up 15-0. They have plenty of cushion. Plenty of cushion may be an understatement. 15 runs is more than plenty to win this game. They just need to make sure they don't let Grand Island back into this game. If they scored as many runs as they did in one inning, a couple of errors could let Grand Island do the same realistically. We've seen the way they've hit. If it wasn't for a couple of good defensive plays, then this game could be a 15-5 game, and 10 runs a lot more manageable in this sense. And once again, going back to the age group it's a 10U game. You're going to see a lot more runs scored, a lot more errors, and that's to be expected. It's not a bad thing. It's just a learning experience. The players just need to learn from their experiences, learn from their mistakes, and know what to do to avoid it the next time around. And now 2 on here with none away as Comfort walks, which now brings up Emmy Dewey, the additional hitter. Could at this point be the designated hitter given the pitching change, but nonetheless listed as an additional hitter. Low in the dirt, but scoop behind the dish. Another nice play. It's a 1-0 count nonetheless. Even more so, a 2 on. The catcher needs to be a brick wall behind the dish. The 1-0 misses high, but she snatches it upstairs. There's a 2-0 count. In the on-deck circle for Grand Island is Elise Miller, the shortstop. Could be a big spot for her to make something happen for her team. The pitch fouled away. Howard challenges her, makes it now a 2-1. That's the exact get-right pitch she needs. She needs to keep this a tight at-bat. Cannot let it get to 3-1. 2-2 is fine, then 3-2. But 3-1 to 3-2 I feel like would be a lot more difficult. And we will see the more difficult route at the 3-1 count. The at-bat still not lost or won for either party. But it's an uphill battle for Howard. Just needs to find her rhythm. A 3-1. Believe she does. No designation given. It looked like a good pitch from out here. Believe this should be the payoff pitch now. 3-2. Fouled away. So now definitely this will be a 3-2 count. Once again, the on-deck circle is Elise Miller, the shortstop. Howard lining up the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Gets her to chase upstairs for a loud out number 1. Madeline Howard settling in. So now up steps Miller as she looks to move the runners along. The pitch from Howard. There we go. It's a warm-up pitch here. Maybe something happened. Maybe she slipped or something along those lines. Actually, no, it's a pitching change. Correction, we do have a pitching change here, as I believe Explosive is going to try and change things up here. One away. We'll step aside. As the pitching change is completed, it's a quick out for Explosive. It's out number 2. Nice job by the defense on that ground ball. Apologies for that. Just trying to get the changes written down in the scorebook over here to try and keep track of the way things are going. And now Barros, the second baseman, steps up with 2 away. 2 runners in scoring position. They will stay put. The game's time is numbered. The time left, you got to number the time here. The Storms are coming. The pitch. Misses low, skips to the left, and will be kept in front by the catcher. No runners advance. I feel like at this point in the game, maybe you try and chance that if you're Grand Island. Maybe not. Maybe at this point in the game, you're trying to teach discipline to your base runners, learn when to go. But at the same time, I feel like sending them might be a good thing. We'll see if that happens if another one gets passed. Back pick still being worked. But potentially hearing some inklings of thunder rolling in from behind us. I am in center field. So behind would be the parking lot. I believe Acular announced us 18 minutes until the Storms. The pitch. In the zone. Nice pitch there, I believe, from the new pitcher cards. Once again, if you're just tuning in, it's difficult to kind of see, and as well out the lineup card, who is in. We knew 3 different pitchers would at least pitch in this game for Explosive that warmed up depending on the game script, and we've seen the game script allow it. And it's a walk that time around for Barros, and now Mamard steps up for her first cuts. Bases loaded, 2 away. A poke can keep it interesting, as I believe Explosive needs to be up by 12 going into the 4th of the game to be over. And given the weather, that might be a good thing to achieve. Cars will come set. The pitch. In the zone, 0-1 count to begin this at-bat, and it's a big at-bat to try and keep the shutout intact. Be interesting to see what Explosive does next inning and try and keep things fresh for their later games, as they had to save arms. That's why this game become a bullpen game. Maybe it wasn't always in the game script, but it allowed for it given just how much they're up by, as they have a game right after this. The team warming up to my right, who they'll see next. High looping pitch, not in the zone. But settling things down. You just have to settle this game down and get to the 3rd. No one missing outside. It looks like Cards is releasing too late. She's releasing at a high arced point, which is leading to the ball staying higher and just trailing off out of the zone. Just need to straighten up that release. There it is once again, just a little bit too much on the up. As she releases lower, kind of from the hip, it should, in theory, travel to where she wants it to go. Needs to be careful not to walk home a run. Cards will set and deliver. In the zone, that's how she gets out of the inning as she just clips the corner. Excellent composure shown from her on the mound after a couple of balls. Gets the gate right pitch and retires aside. End of 2 here in Ridgeville. Explosive up big, 15-0. And I believe actually that's the run rule. Yes, it is. Your final score here in our first game of the day. Explosive will win it 15-0. An early run rule after 2, but an excellent game all the way around. A lot of good players. No player of the game for this one. I feel like you can say the whole team played their role. This is the Explosive Howard team we expected to see going into this competition. They now sit at 1-1 and have a tough clash up next. Looking forward to seeing that game, which should start at around 12. We're not covering that one, as our next game will be at 1:30, as explosive Fastpitch Kelowna will take on Savage Elite. To stay up to date on all the games I'm covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and Twitter. To stay up to date on this tournament, follow Explosive on Instagram and also check them out on their website. And finally, subscribe here to the SmeeSports YouTube channel and enable push notifications to be notified when I upload or go live. My goal is to get up to 250 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. So if you haven't subscribed already, it'd be appreciated if you go down below this video and do so. Well, that will do it from game number 1. Time to rest up. Be back on in 2 hours to bring you explosive Fastpitch Kelowna's game today. It should be a good one. Once again, thank you to Explosive for having me out here for this tournament. It's only the first broadcast of the tournament, but you can already tell it's going to be a great one. Have a good day, everyone, and see you in 2 hours.